Okay, right. Let's unpack this. Today we're diving into the really dynamic world of streaming and specifically looking at this question that, hangs over a lot of creators. Is it just too crowded now? Is the landscape too saturated for your voice to actually break through and, well, thrive? For this deep dive, we've pulled some really compelling stuff from StreamSmart with Gizmott. Build your streaming future. It's this resource known for practical streaming tips and tech insights. Our mission really is to pull out the key strategies for building a solid streaming future for your creative work, maybe even your business, based on what the source is telling us.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, I think, is how StreamSmart with Gizmot tackles that exact feeling you mentioned, that idea that maybe the market's just, closed off. It pushes back on that. We've kind of distilled insights from what the source calls a curious enthusiast, someone exploring, and also a streaming tech insider.
hmm
So we get strategies, real-life examples, and critically, the platform features that are genuinely changing the game for creators now.
Okay, so let's get straight to it then. The elephant in the room, because it's really the core of this deep dive, isn't it? It's so easy to look at the big players, the huge creators out there, and just think, well, the pie's sliced up. It's just too late for me to start streaming seriously.
Yeah.
Does StreamSmart actually challenge that head on? Or is it more of a hopeful spin?
Oh, it absolutely challenges it head on. What the source says, quite emphatically actually, is that this is, well, counterintuitively, it's the perfect time.
Right.
While the big mainstream platforms might seem full, StreamSmart points out that the real growth, the really intense engagement is happening in these sort of underserved passion communities. The demand for really specific, niche, high-quality stuff is just exploding because audiences are actively looking for fresh voices, authentic voices that talk directly to their specific interests. It's becoming less about just broad reach,
Yeah.
and much more about that deep connection within these like micro communities.
That's a really powerful distinction. Okay, so if this niche opportunity is really there, how does someone, a creator or maybe a business, actually do that? Does StreamSmart give you a concrete way forward, a pathway to being self-reliant? Or are we still just talking about, finding a little corner on YouTube or Twitch or somewhere? This is where the source and maybe Gizmot itself fits in, right?
Exactly. Yeah, spot on. And this brings up a really important question. How can people, individuals or businesses, truly own their streaming presence instead of just like renting space on someone else's platform with all the limitations that come with that? And according to StreamSmart, this is where Gizmot offers a pretty transformative answer. It lets you launch your own OTT platform. OTT meaning over the top. Basically, you control the whole service, like your own mini Netflix or Disney Plus ad. This gives you just complete control
Yeah.
over your brand, the whole user experience. And crucially, how your content gets delivered and, discovered.
Okay, control sounds good. But what about the things people always talk about, like the data and making money? Monetization. For someone who knows their stuff, owning audience data, that must mean more than just like view counts, right? And monetizing on your own terms. That sounds great, obviously. But what does it actually mean in practice?
Right. So for a knowledgeable creator, owning your data isn't just total views. No,
Sure.
it means getting really granular analytics. We're talking insights into engagement within your videos, like where people drop off, where your most loyal fans are geographically, maybe even how well you convert people from, say, a free trial to a paid subscription. The source goes into how this level of detail lets you create super targeted content and a monetization strategies you just can't do on rented platforms. And monetize on your own terms. It means exactly that. You could set up different subscription tiers, run exclusive pay-per-view live events, maybe build direct fan support. You completely skip the platform's standard cut, their revenue share, their payout schedules. The key phrase they highlight is no middlemen, no restrictions.
Huh. No middlemen, no restrictions. That does sound, well, almost revolutionary in this space. But okay, for creators who are used to the built-in audience, the infrastructure of the big platforms, what are the real challenges, the extra responsibilities that StreamSmart talks about when you go fully independent like this? Surely there are trade-offs for that kind of ownership.
That's a really crucial point, yeah. And then the source doesn't ignore it. While it definitely champions independence, StreamSmart sort of implicitly acknowledges that, yeah, building your own platform means taking on things like promotion, the tech side, finding your audience, but it frames these more as manageable responsibilities that just come with having that unparalleled control, not as like impossible burdens. The real value, as the authors seem to stress, isn't just saving on platform fees. It's about protecting yourself against, sudden algorithm shifts or random policy changes, or even platform outages that can just wreck a creator's income overnight. It's really about building something resilient, future-proof,
Yeah.
a direct line to your audience.
Wow, so I can actually build something that's
Yeah.
that's genuinely mine. Like a whole resilient ecosystem around my content. Not just streaming on some platform, but actually owning the platform itself.
Yeah.
And controlling my own destiny there. That's a totally different way of thinking about it.
Exactly. That's the core idea.
Yeah.
The source sums it up really powerfully. Your platform, your content, your future.
Yeah.
It highlights that shift, doesn't it? It's not just about putting content out there. It's about moving from being just a content creator
Yeah.
to being more like a content entrepreneur. It definitely makes you rethink what's actually possible in streaming today.
Okay. So, what does all this boil down to for you listening right now? The main takeaway, the core insight from this deep dive into Stream Smart with Gizmott seems really clear. It is absolutely not too late to get into serious streaming. Not at all. In fact, for anyone looking to build something lasting, something truly impactful, it seems like now is actually the perfect time, especially if you use tools that give you real ownership. It's about building something that's yours, undeniably yours. Your brand, your data, how you make money, how you control your content's future. Everything.
Mhm. And that really leads to, I think, a fascinating final question for you to chew on. In this world that often feels so saturated, just broad generic stuff, how might focusing your energy on a really unique niche and, crucially, owning your distribution channel, how might that unlock opportunities that just weren't really there before? Maybe the true value isn't only in making great content consistently, but in building that direct, that unmediated, and ultimately that truly resilient relationship with your audience. Something to think about.